might happen if 6 was 9? What might happen if you were mine? What might happen if all is one? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of What Might Happen. Oh, this has been a busy time, and we have received a lot of responses to the program featuring Riley Martin. So this evening I thought that we might invite Mr. Martin back again, along with Iran. However, I have an added guest. His name is Professor Rowe, and well, I'll tell you what, let me just introduce all of them right now. Professor Rowe, welcome, welcome, welcome. Have a seat, sir. Yes, Iran. My name, brother, come on out. And Brother Martin, yes, the esteemed one. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Come on in. You're going to be sitting right here, good sir. Very good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you and welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to get right down to business, Brother Riley, because folks want to know, and I definitely want to know.
Definitely.
The book starts off not only by talking about the coming of 10, but it starts off by talking about the 7 intelligent life forms. Would you mind giving us some insight into, that is our viewing audience, into the life forms? You can just mention them, if you don't mind.
Sure. In 1953, at the age of 7, in northeastern Arkansas, I was visited and taken aboard an aerial ship that is not of this earth. We were taken out to a great mothership that is located near the rings of Saturn, that is between Saturn and one of its greater moons, I believe, Titan. Aboard now, incidentally, the Cassini space probe started taking pictures of this luminous object.
Indeed.
Back in '04, I believe, though I wrote the book 17 years ago. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
There are 7 intelligent species inhabiting this ship. The ones I know best are called Biavians. Biavians, the typical Biavian male is about 4 feet in height, large eyes, small mouth, baby-like teeth, no discernible ear flaps, well-developed upper torso, but elongated arms and 4 fingers. The thumb and these 3 fingers. They range in skin complexion from olive black to chalk white, and all the colors in between. I call him tan. His name is Oquatangenwa.
Right.
Second group are obviously Caucasian in origin. They are called Dorians, tall, blonde, and what have you.
Scandinavian looking.
Scandinavian looking, yeah. Third group, which I don't really like very much, are called Tarxitians. They are reptilian, very smart reptiles. And they're not very nice either. The fourth group are called Niptonians. Niptonians are white and low set with deep blue skin and slanted like upward eyes. They are water people. They live on a high gravity planet that requires otherwise they live in water. The humidity on that planet would drown you at sea level. You know, this is a water planet. The next group are called the Screed. Now the Screed are, for want of a better word, smart bugs, looking something between, say, a praying mantis and a locust. Insectoid, and they are very smart. In fact, I've been trying for years to get to the bottom of their technology, and I'm working on it and getting close, but it is very different from all of the other intelligences. The sixth group are called Stygians. Stygians are tall, bony, leathery type skin, close set eyes, little sucker-like things on the end of their fingers. They are rather tall, over 5 feet. And I understand that they are the brains, a real brainy type species, though they have no ships of their own, nor do they use machines on their home planet. A very homogeneous and gentle species, though he's ugly.
You mean ugly?
Well, physically he looks ugly, but he's not. He's probably the most gentle among all of them. And the seventh species, Doctor, his name was given to me in a digital form. I cannot recall it, but Think of a test tube that's turned upside down
Gotcha.
and cut in half, turned upside down, and a metal bottom put on that. In the midst of that tube is floating gelatinous-like material, reminiscent of, say, a jellyfish or something of this nature with one big eye. That particular species levitates about, and all their work is done with robotics and what have you. I did not get to communicate much with them, but I suspect that they are more ancient and even more powerful species than my friends the Biavians, if it came down to it. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
These are the 7 there. But let me tell you, good doctor, professor,
Yes, sir.
that these are certainly not all of the extraterrestrials that
So-
have and are visiting this planet.
So I'm going to have a follow-up. I have a follow-up. But Dr. Rowe, you want to hit one?
A little
serious.
bit of a different direction.
Yeah.
I was talking to my students about your visit and showing them some of the stuff from the book, and they seem to be most fascinated with the inbreeding and sexual experiences between human beings and aliens. And we'd like to know how much inbreeding has been done between human beings and these visitors.
In the ancient scriptures, it says that these cherubims, or these giants in the land, these sons of God, so to speak, in your good book, looked upon the daughters of men and found them fair, and took of them wives, and their sons became of old great men of renown. If you look at the chronology of, say, the house of Adam, you'll find that people lived 6, 7, 8, 900 years. Only when the admixture of blood began to be mixed out upon the land did the age diminish again. So they've been breeding with humankind since time immemorial, pre-biblical times, long before the pyramids and what have you. They were able to cross the genome. The book explains why they decided to do that, because it should not be allowed on such a massive scale as they did, so they feel somewhat responsible for us now. But yes, since we came from the same Big Bang, Professor, we are carbon-based creatures made of literally the same chemosynthesis, the chemical materials. And so it's not inconceivable that ultimately there are some out there who can literally crossbreed with us. The Biavians can do this.
But human beings today, like the 4 of us in this room, do you think it's plausible that we have way back relatives who
Of
are
course.
aliens?
Of every race, creed, and color upon the earth, there's a certain amount of this DNA imbibed within them. Now, our scientists may call it what you say, junk DNA or what have you, but simply when they say junk, that means they don't know what it is or what its relevance is. You understand? But it is there. And it manifests itself in many ways.
And-
Such people like Nikola Tesla, Einstein, George Washington Carver, etc.
Are there any racial or ethnic groups that have more or less of this alien DNA?
Well,
in
it
them?
would have started in northern Africa some 32,000 years ago, and then filtered out from there. So that does not mean that since that time, the admixture of blood from all over the earth, conquest, exploration, etc., etc. So I believe that it is now diffused more or less within all of humanity without focusing so much on one specific.
Okay, throw it back to
Very
Professor
good.
Haywood.
Yeah, brother, now the 7 life forms that you speak about, have all of them interacted with Earth?
No, the only ones that have physiologically interacted with us from the massive level are the Biavians. Nonetheless, I understand that there have been certain genetic experiments between reptilians and humans over time, but they did not, I understand, create any more than what you would call, say, the Greys or something of this nature, which I believe is a drone species beholding to these lizards or tarsitions.
Now, the grays, are they similar in terms of description? They sound similar to the Biavians, minus the blackness of the eyes for the grays.
Well,
is that an
yeah,
accurate
well,
description?
Right. The grays are just what it says. The
Yes.
skin is a motley whitish gray color.
And they have large heads.
They have large heads.
Large
they are small
eyes.
in form, large eyes, and they don't seem to be independently so brainy in that they are following orders and things of this nature, such as the collection of cattle for mutilations and things like this, when the female reptilians needs the blood, the hemoglobin, and other organs, things like this.
Now, Professor, I'm going to let you go again, but I have one more, if I may ask. The movies, jumping into Hollywood, where we talk about Close Encounter of the Third Kind. I believe you mentioned Spielberg in the book. Do these depictions of alien beings have a source?
Of course. I believe that Spielberg went out and got some of the greatest scientific minds, researchers, ex-military people, astronauts, etc., to advise him on that movie. So when you see the propulsion systems, it looks pretty much dead on.
And the beings?
The beings physiologically are a little different, but nonetheless close enough as to where he knows something. Put it like that.
Gotcha. Brother Rob.
I learned in the book that you've had sex with these aliens and reproduced with them. A couple of questions about that. Did you have sex with the purebred aliens or only hybrid aliens?
No, it is not possible to have intercourse with a purebred Biavian due to the anthropic type level of their sexual organs. However, should they say impregnate an earth woman, you can have sex with the offspring.
And you've had sex with the hybrid?
Yeah, with
women.
the hybrid
And
women.
you've also had children with them that would be three quarters human being,
Right.
1 quarter
And I must tell you,
Biavian.
good professor, they were sweet. Nonetheless, I found nothing out there in the cosmos to compare with Earth women. Okay.
Okay. How many children do you think you have fathered with these
6.
hybrids? 6 children.
6 children.
Do you keep in touch with them?
Oh, they let me see them. They took them back to the home planet. Piave, located about 450 light years from here. And they let me see them in the holograph room in 1975. They were fathered in 64.
Okay.
And they showed me them on a beautiful meadow near a lake, having fun, doing kinetic things, orchestrating butterflies, etc. And there was a lady there, sandy blonde lady, kind of tomboyish. She's quite lovely. Only later, when I saw her in the encyclopedia, did I understand that it was Amelia Earhart. That was there, yeah.
They got her.
They got her.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they've been taking humans to be army since the time of Enoch and Ezekiel. You understand?
Yeah. Are your kids good kids?
I should hope so.
Yeah.
However, if they took after me, they're not. You know?
Now, a lot of people have problems with the idea that antiquity was, how can I say that, structures from antiquity did not arrive from, or did not arise from the native or nativist people, but that these alien beings came and assisted.
Right.
Were these?
Let me put it like
Please,
this.
go ahead,
Let me
clarify.
put it like this.
Sure.
Let me give you the best technology we have now, on Earth now, including some big helicopters.
Okay.
Build me another pyramid.
Can't.
So they didn't do it.
There's a new theory that there were ramps that the pyramids were built from the inside out. Did the Biavians talk about any of these structures, if you will?
No, I believe they built, say, chambered cells and then added from the outside in as if you would build any other structure of this nature.
So you would disagree?
Because in order to build it inside out, I don't think it would be structurally that sound. You have got to lean them in towards each other so that they can support each other's weight, much like the ark that the Romans did or something of this nature.
Because I know that
Right.
there is no cement between. I was
Right,
there.
of
There is
course,
no
it's just sitting there.
epoxy to keep.
Secondly, they could not have used
Stone
ramps
together.
because the ramps would have weighed 10 times of what the pyramids weigh. And they could not have just thrown the ramps away afterwards. We would see what the ramps were. But no, we see nothing. But once in a weirding type of a dream, looking at a Biavian elder, I saw standing off in the hot sun on the golden sand, 3 tall men dressed in purple, their black skin glistening in the sun. The one in the middle was down on one knee like this. And I looked back and he said, behold, I looked back like that, and he was easing a 20-ton stone into the eastern side of the pyramid with the power of his mind. He said, do not despair of your people, Martin, for see from whence you have come.
So this
Yeah.
telekinetic ability or the kinetic ability, we still have this.
We still have it, we've lost it, just like we have lost the way and manner to love one another to some extent.
Now,
We have lost things to greed. We have lost so many things. Yet, miracles abound within us. We are capable of it. We don't have to poison the world.
so brother, I don't mean to interrupt you, but this contact with the Biavians, I'm going to turn it over to you, Brother Rowe, but the contact with the Biavians and other intelligences, is this a message of love to the human race, to Earth planet? I mean, is it a manifestation of that which was written in the scriptures, New Testament especially, peace on earth, goodwill to men? Is this a furtherance of this
Since they
message?
put forth the first codes of Hamamurai in the 10 Commandments and things of this nature, you need to do the right thing. Love one another. Don't lie on your brother. Don't covet this woman. I'm talking about these are simple,
Code.
logical facts.
Yes.
But great technology does not necessarily divinity make.
Gotcha.
You understand?
Gotcha. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, clearly, we've not kept pace with our
Hey,
technology.
could I ask a
Yeah,
question?
please,
I
Simone.
wanted to follow up.
Good.
They asked you about the children, and I wanted to know why exactly would they have you have offspring with a hybrid group? I mean, is there a purpose for these
Apparently
children?
so. Apparently so. They anticipate that one day there's a good possibility, greater than not, that an entire community, large community of humans will come there. Unfortunately, all humans are not easily susceptible to telepathy. Some are, but many are not. Therefore, the hybrids can actually articulate. They can talk. Plus, they are part human, so they would probably be better liaisons and be less likely to contract germs and things than, say, full-blooded Biavians. I mean, that's the take I have on it.
Gotcha.
Then again, don't we crossbreed everything we can?
Indeed.
You know.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. Indeed, Brother Rowe.
I have a bit of an ethical concern.
Okay.
If a bunch of scientists go around kidnapping people, especially you were visited when you were like 7 years old, they're young, we would consider that immoral. What about the ethical concerns of these aliens taking people without their consent?
I can only tell you this, Professor. Even those people who profess to have had a terrifying experience, out of all the thousands, none of them are dead. You understand?
Yeah.
Because I'm here, I'm not dead, and I'm not afraid. So, it literally meant that the aliens didn't mean to hurt him in the first place, did they? They just could not bring themselves to terms. Their, say, Judeo-Christian faith and things like this did not jive with somebody unknown from the stars picking me up and incapacitating me to keep me from knocking them in the head. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's about the size of that. But no, they're not here to take us out. They could have done that in Neolithic times.
Do they think that we're equal to them, or do they think that they're superior to us?
One elder once said to me, I could hear him thinking, and he said, you know, Homo sapien biped erectus, carbon-based creature, hydrogen, iron, nice and all that. Then he said, probable mental capacity, perhaps someday greater than our own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then they faded back off into space. I said, yeah, go now. Bam. Crazy, man.
So you would say that they probably do view some type of equality between
Of
the
course.
intelligent. Okay.
We are a young species. If we survive the
Yeah.
Bush era, among other things, then we can go on to greater heights. You understand?
It seems to me, if I may, that we do have rendition, that is picking people up that we consider to be threats to the country, right? And so we have done these abductions before, yes? So,
Well, of
And it's been
course.
unethical and,
well, of course.
criticized for it.
Like
Yeah.
this.
But nevertheless.
It's like this. You are a scientist. Okay. The jellyfish, the mouse, the seal,
Yes.
and the mussel shell may think it's immoral for you to be picking them up, studying them. But you're going to do it.
But do we really think it's immoral to experiment with animals? There's a distinction between man and animal. I don't know if you're a vegetarian or not, but most people in America aren't. We
Well,
eat them.
there's a distinction between man and animal.
Yes.
But there's no distinction between animal and animal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They love their offspring just like we love ours.
but they're all
And what have
equally
you.
below
If
us.
you want to get off into the ethics of things,
Yes.
then you wouldn't be out there doing oceanography, nor breeding new fatless pigs, chickens at Kentucky Fried, etc., etc. So you can follow ethics all you want to. All I'm here to do is give you some information.
Okay.
I am not here to prostalize or not turn you into, a Buddhist Catholic.
What I was getting at was you watch a lot of these movies and you see a lot of the aliens are out there to eat us, to make us their pets, and to enslave us. And I was thinking that perhaps if they did view us as inferior because of their advanced race and whatnot,
Well,
that we would have to worry
if they
about
wanted
that.
to do anything to us, they could take one second-hand saucer and shut down the world. All electricity, all computers, wipe all computers. You wouldn't know where to take the grocery. Everything. They could do that at a moment's notice if they so desired. They do not so desire to do that simply because if you allow the guy with the biggest gun to go around jumping on the guy who don't have a big one, then the entire galaxy would deteriorate down into war and chaos. It would be open season.
Sort of like Hobbes' state of nature.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
But within certain parameters, yes, they can visit you. They can even examine you and things of this nature. As long as they are not here to kill you and what have you. And I would warrant that were we able to travel across the vastness of space, that we would be somewhere studying them too.